How's it going, YouTube? This is Manny from Manny Fresh Bets, bringing you my NFL Week 4 player props, yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, anytime TD props. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, I would greatly appreciate if you guys would like, subscribe, comment, and share. We had a great start to Week 4 in the NFL. We hit a couple of parlays. We hit a couple of straight up bets on the Thursday night game. We had a great Saturday of college football with a few live bets, a few same game parlays. One of the same game parlays I gave out on the video hit. So we're running hot right now. So this is gonna be my player props and anytime TDs. For the first bet that I made. I'm pretty much sold that this Seattle Detroit Lions game is going to be high scoring. So I took a shot with this kind of lotto, this long shot. Take out anyone you don't feel comfortable with, add anyone you feel comfortable with. This is going to be 8-leg parlay, anytime TD prop. So I took DK Metcalf. We all know how bad the Detroit Lions defense is. DK is a big guy. Anytime they're gonna get close to the goal line, they're probably gonna throw it up, and he's probably gonna catch it. So I took DK, Jamal Williams. I have DeAndre Swift in a few of my fantasy leagues. He's unfortunately out for this game. Anytime they get into the goal line, they are giving it to Jamal Williams. Amon St. Brown is also out for this game, so even more of a chance for Jamal to get in the end zone. He actually vultured two touchdowns in one game from DeAndre Swift, which I mentioned before is in a couple of my leagues. So I see him getting in the end zone. Then I have Mark Andrews in the Bills Baltimore Ravens game. He just has a knack for the end zone. Lamar trusts him. I don't think he trusts anyone else. To be honest with you, maybe Bateman, but he's the safety blanket. So I could see Mark Andrews scoring a touchdown. In the Chicago Bears-Giants game, I got Saquon to score a touchdown. Again, my Giants are depleted at the wide receiver position. It's just gonna be the Saquon Barkley show, I believe. So low scoring game, but I could see Barkley hitting a touchdown. Then I got Derrick Henry. He's been kind of slow lately. Not slow, but slow in terms of his production. But I think this is going to be a grinded out game, close game with the Colts, division game. And I could see him pounding Henry into the end zone. Then I got Mike Williams against Houston. The Chargers, I believe they don't have Keenan Allen for this game. Mike Williams is going to have to carry them with Herbert. So I can see Mike Williams getting into the end zone. Najee Harris, again, another guy that, has been kind of slow in the first 3 weeks. Hasn't had the production he's had before. But I feel like they're going to lean on the run game, get this win against the Jets, and then get ready for, the divisional games that they got coming up. Then I got Nick Chubb. I'm iffy on this one because it could be anyone. It's like, the Falcons are going to let people score. The Falcons, like I mentioned in week 1, they're going to be a better team, but their defense still is bad. And especially their run defense. So it's either going to be Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. So if you want to swap out Chubb for Kareem Hunt, more than welcome to. I might do that as well. Just because on a week-to-week basis, we don't know who's going to score that touchdown for them. But most of the time, it's going to be, either Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, or David Njoku. And we actually cashed an anytime TD with the tight end David Njoku earlier in the week. So this is going to be a 12-leg parlay. So we got Devontae Smith getting at least 50 yards. We got Jalen Hurts at least 25 yards rushing. He's been rushing, as you can see. He's on an MVP type of level right now. He's going to run. He could probably get that in one run. Then we got Dallas Goedert at 25 yards. That's kind of his safety blanket. Whenever he's running around, kind of struggling to find someone, he's going to find Dallas Goedert down the field. And I believe he's going to get much more than that. I believe he's going to get more than 50 yards, but I played it safe there with 25. Then I got Tyler Lockett to get 50 yards receiving, Penny to get 40 yards rushing, and then Jamal Williams to get 40 yards rushing. That Seattle-Detroit game, like I said, I think is going to be high scoring. Geno Smith hasn't looked great, but against this Detroit Lions team, he's going to look better. And he did look better in the last two games. So I think, Lockett, DK, if you want to swap out Tyler Lockett for DK, be my guess that's a smart idea as well. But I see offense in that game. And then in the Commanders-Cowboys game, I got McLaurin, 40 yards receiving, sorry. CeeDee Lamb, 40 yards receiving. I got Zeke at 25 yards rushing. Then in the Browns-Atlanta games, I got Amari Cooper, 50 yards receiving. In the Bills-Baltimore game, I got Diggs plus 60 yards plus receiving. And then in the Arizona Cardinals Carolina game, I got Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown at 50 plus yards. If you want to swap that out with another person, I forgot his name. I picked him up in fantasy. Dortch, Dortch, the wide receiver for Arizona. Dortch has been killing it. So if you want to swap out Marquise Brown for Dortch, be my guest. He's been killing it. I picked him up in fantasy. He's probably gonna do well in this game, just because all the attention that Marquise Brown brings has gotten Dortch open. Then for the 8-leg parlay, I got another kind of home run hit. I got Penny and Jamal Williams again. As you can see, this game I feel is going to be high scoring, and a lot of TDs are going to be scored. So I took Penny and Jamal to score. Again, I took Henry and Jonathan Taylor in the Indianapolis Colts Tennessee game. Then I took Najee again. I took Lamar to run one in. I took Saquon, and I took Nick Chubb. Again, you can swap out Nick Chubb for Kareem Hunt, David Njoku, or maybe Amari Cooper. And you can probably swap out Lamar Jackson for maybe one of the running backs. I just don't feel too comfortable with them handing it off in the red zone. Then finally, I have the 21-leg parlay. This one's a long one. So I took Kirk Cousins, 200-plus yards. I think they're going to have to throw in this game. New Orleans has a good defense, especially the secondary, so I think Cousins is going to go over that. Then I got Kamara, 25 yards rushing. Chris Olave, 40 yards receiving. Adam Thielen, 25 yards receiving. I stayed away from Justin Jefferson here. He has been kind of, the defenses have been focusing on him. I can see him getting, at least 40, 50 yards, but I stayed away in this game. Then I took Henry at 40 yards rushing, Pittman at 40 yards receiving. I took Allen at a very modest 225 yards passing. They don't run the ball, so it's going to be the Josh Allen show, and 225 is very doable. I got Diggs, 50 yards, Gabriel Davis, 25 yards, and then I got Andrews, 40 yards. Don't trust much more from there in terms of Baltimore. Then I got Justin Herbert, 200 yards passing, Eckler, 25 yards rushing, and then Brandon Cooks, 25 yards receiving. Seahawks game, Jamal Williams, 40 yards rushing, Rashard Penny, 25 yards rushing, and then I got DK at 40 yards receiving. Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers, I took Najee, 40 yards rushing, Deontay Johnson, 40 yards receiving. Then finally, I took Dallas Goedert, 25 yards receiving, A.J. Brown, 25 yards receiving, and then in the Browns-Atlanta game, I took Nick Chubb, 40-plus yards. For that one, I bet $2 to win 54 bucks. And then some other ones I'm looking at. Unfortunately, for this game, for some reason, they had the over in terms of passing TDs at 1.5 for Josh Allen. They actually changed it to 2.5, so we can't bet on that. It's insane that they had him at 1.5 because he's throwing pretty much every game. I still like it at over 2.5. I mean, he's gonna throw the ball, and this game I feel is gonna be high scoring, so I'm gonna take it at 2.5. So for him to get at least 3 passing touchdowns. Then there was another one that I really liked. Unfortunately, I can't parlay it because it's the same game. But I'm gonna take Again, Kirk Cousins, at least 200 yards. And then I'm going to take the rushing prop for Saquon. It's at over 80.5. I'm going to put it at 60 to be more conservative. And I'm going to take Herbert, 225. Actually, I'm going to do it at 200. Pierce, I feel like he can do something in this game. The Chargers are banged up. To play it safe, I'm going to put him at 25. Brandon Cooks, I think he's going to wake up in this game. I'm going to put him at 25 yards. Then I've got Mike Williams. Like I said, he's going to have to carry the load in this game, so I'm going to put him at 50 yards. To play it safe, I'm going to put him at 40. And then for this game, I'm going to put Hurts at least 200 yards passing. I'm going to put Kirk at least 25. I'm going to put Devontae Smith at least 25. And I'm going to put A.J. Brown at least 40. Then for this game, the Browns-Atlanta game, I'm staying away from the quarterbacks in this game. I could definitely feel Marcus Mariota's passing for at least 200. They're going to have to pass because the Browns are going to run the air out the ball. And it's going to be a long game, and they're going to have to throw. But I'm going to keep it safe for now. And then I'm going to take Kyle Pitts at 25. I just took Nick Chubb at 40 yards, in case you guys didn't see that one. I'm going to take Drake London at 25 yards. Amari Cooper at 25 yards. And I'm going to move on to the next game. Let me check for his TDs. Kyler Murray over 1.5 TDs passing. I'm going to take that. I think he could throw 2 TDs in this game. That's not a bad bet at all. I'm going to take Javonte Williams over 40 yards. Raiders defense is not great against the run. So I'm going to take him at over 40 yards. Just to play it safe, I'm going to take him at 25. Denver's defense is good against the run, so I'm not going to touch Josh Jacobs yet. But I'm going to put Darren Waller at over 25 yards. I'm going to end it there because once you start adding more legs, it just gets more difficult to hit these parlays. So for the Chargers-Houston Texans game, I took Herbert, 200 yards passing, Dameon Pierce, 25 yards rushing, Brandon Cooks, 25 yards receiving, and Mike Williams, 40 yards receiving. Then for the Jaguars-Philly game, I took Hurts over 200 yards passing, Kirk and Devontae Smith, 25 yards receiving, and then I took A.J. Brown, 40 yards receiving. For the Browns-Falcons game, I took Chubb, 40 yards rushing, Kyle Pitts and London and Amari Cooper, all with 25 yards receiving. And then I took Josh Allen over 2.5 passing TDs. I took Kirk Cousins over 200 yards passing, Saquon over 60 yards rushing, and I think that was it. The last one I did was Kyler Murray over 1.5 passing TDs and Javonte Williams 25 yards rushing, as well as Waller with 25 yards receiving. So I'm going to bet a modest $2 to win almost $90. So that's going to do it there, guys. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments. I know someone asked me to give him 5 locks, him or her, 5 locks in terms of against the spread picks. To answer your question, there's no such thing as locks. You can have leans. You can say, hey, I feel like this team is going to win or this team is going to cover the spread. Any I'm not a professional handicapper, but any capper or any professional handicapper that tells you they have a lock, they're probably taking your money and they're probably playing you as a fool. There's no such thing in the NFL, any type of betting that's a lock. You know, you can have a strong lean, you can have strong opinions, you can have, you know, hey, I think this is definitely gonna hit, but there's no such thing as lock. If it was that way, we'll all be rich because you know you'll take a quote unquote lock bet, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $50,000, and you'll win automatically. That doesn't happen, you know. So I will reply to your comment about the things that I feel like is gonna happen. But again, no such thing as locks, because if not, we'll be all be rich. And in any case, follow me on Twitter at Manny Fresh Bets. I gave a few live bets on the college football games and on the Thursday night games. A couple of those hit. Unfortunately, some of them came up short by one leg, but we did hit our same game parlay for college football. Posted on the video. We also hit a few live bets. So again, guys, really appreciate it. Have a great Sunday of football, and we will talk soon. God bless.